we start the session?
Yes, please, sir.
Neha ma'am, please proceed.
Yes, sir. So, good evening to all esteemed members of the Research Foundation of India, our distinguished expert Dr. Chanchla Jain ma'am, and dear participants. I extend a warm welcome to each one of you with a special welcome to our esteemed master trainer and research expert Dr. Chanchla ma'am and assistant professor at Prestige Institute of Management at Indore to this dentist faculty development program and training program for advanced tools and techniques for research methodology. Before we proceed, let me take a moment to wish everyone a very happy Teachers' Day. And on this occasion, I'm reminded of the inspiring words of William Wilberforce who said, "The great teacher inspires. Truly, every teacher is a source of inspiration and transformation." This collaborative initiative is organized by the Research Foundation of India, RFI-CARE, and Jain University in association with Abhyuday University, Eklam University, Parul University, Kalinga University, Redford International Business School, Shod Malwa, and MPES Nadeem Das Khandwala College, Mumbai. It is generously sponsored by JHRF, Academic Research Guide Association, and Edu Academic Inc. Now it's my privilege to introduce today's distinguished speaker, Dr. Chanchla ma'am. She is an eminent academician, a seasoned researcher, and the co-founder of Urja Counseling and Training Indore. She also serves as the co-coordinator of IQSC at Prestige Institute of Management and Research Indore. With over 11 years of experience in the fields of management and commerce, she has trained countless students and scholars through faculty development programs and workshops on SPSS, research paper writing, and art programming. Her contributions include a government-submitted research project in the medical domain, chairing and co-chairing several prestigious conferences, and presenting over 20 research papers at national and international platforms. She has been honored with 5 Best Paper Awards, and her research excellence is reflected in more than 42 publications in reputed Scopus Index and peer-reviewed journals. Her mentorship has guided numerous PhD candidates and over 500 students in completing major and minor research projects. What I have shared is just a glimpse of her phenomenal journey and accomplishments. We are truly honored to have her with us today. So, without any delay, I now invite Dr. Chanchla ma'am to commence today's session on the theme application of the SPSS for data analysis. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. Please confirm me. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, at the onset, as today is the Teachers' Day, I wish all the respected faculty members available on this platform a happy Teachers' Day. Happy Teachers' Day to everyone. So with this note, I'm starting the session. Before starting again, I think I must say or express my gratitude to the RFI team, Ajay Jain sir, Saurabh Jain sir, for one more time giving me a chance to share my knowledge on the data analysis using the SPSS. So thank you so much, sir, and RFI team. Thank you so much, Neha ma'am, for introducing me. So with this, I'll start today's session. As today's agenda, today we need to discuss the role of SPSS in the data analysis. So friends, firstly, I'll discuss little bit conceptual aspects about research, and then we will proceed and see what is the interface of SPSS and how we can work with it, right? So give me a second. I'll just share my screen, and then we will discuss a few concepts of research. Okay, my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. I request all the people available on this platform, please be interactive so that I can understand whether you are listening, you are able to you are getting me or not, right? So starting with quickly, we will see firstly the research term. So anyone who can tell me what do you mean by research? According to you, what is research? Anyone? Yes. Anyone? I hope people are listening to me. Yes.
Like when we systemically search something or systemically inquire about any topic of interest or topic of like social need, something like that. So
So
when
you can say it's a systematic investigation.
yeah, it's a kind of systemic process of investigation.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, ma'am. Anyone else who wants to add the meaning of research for him or her? Yes.
Ma'am, it is a process of searching regarding any specific topic like employee satisfactions and all.
Okay. So can I write like this? Is it okay?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Anyone else?
So if we just say systemic process, what ma'am said, it is the first step, like identifying or searching the problem question or research problem.
Yeah.
Then comes like how we do the literature review, why we do that, because it's also a research, like review. So it's basically nurturing the existing research already done or existing knowledge that is available for that particular thing. And
Yeah.
then the data collection, data analysis, and all these things are coming. So system, it's a way to reach towards our finding or whatever you can say, like, and
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for adding your views or your viewpoints on the research term. Okay. So
Thank
may
you.
I? Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Any other response may I expect, or may I start now? Any other people will add something to the term research? Okay. So when we talk about research, someone says it is a process of moving from unknown to known. Right? Some people says or define research in this term also, right? Some people are saying we are searching for findings of other people. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Want to say something? Okay. So shall I proceed or do I need to wait? Are you saying something? Okay, so I think there is, we can say research is just generally it is people are saying it is generally a science and art, right? Why we are saying research? According to me, I generally define research as two terms, that is re plus search. That is searching again and again, right? Question comes, why we are searching again and again? Anyone who can answer why we are searching again and again for any particular problem, or when the problem is same, why we are doing or why we are conducting a study? What is the reason behind it? Anyone?
To reach towards a solution,
Sorry, ma'am, not getting.
whenever we are facing any problem in any kind of area, so to get solution towards that problem.
I think you're not audible to me, ma'am. Anyone who would be able to understand what ma'am said, Pratibha ma'am said?
Yeah, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Coming to the specific conclusion,
Hmm.
which we are actually doing the research part,
Okay, fine,
or
fine.
something very much creative
Okay,
to be included.
okay, fine, fine. Okay, Nina ma'am, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone else? Why we are searching again and again in the same field? What is the reason behind it?
To avoid repetition of the same work,
To avoid the repetition of the
same work, or
same work.
same.
Okay,
Yes.
very good, very correct. We can say this thing also. Yes. When we talk about searching again and again, reason is there can be so many reasons. One thing is we can avoid duplicacy or the repetition thing we can avoid. Another thing is that as we know this thing, we are living in an era where the things or where the scenario is changing very frequently, right? So it is very obvious that in that particular field when there are changes occur, so maybe it is leading to the different results, right? So that way we can say we need to search again and again in the same field. Say for example, many of people are conducting a study on the customer satisfaction. I don't think so. Customer satisfaction is a phenomena which has not been studied previously. We all know there are various scales available using that we can study the satisfaction kind of phenomena, right? But still, people are conducting this study to understand the customer satisfaction in a particular field. Reason being nowadays, taste of these consumers are changes. There are so many technologies have arrived which are generally adopted by the businesses and organizations. So which is impacting, or these things are impacting somewhere the outcome, right? So that is why we need to know this thing that with the period of time when we are going ahead, so still we need to look back and we need to see what previous studies have or have found, and that way we will be able to identify the gap which is not covered by the previous study. Maybe the reason can be anything. Previously those things were not there, but still those studies are not including such kind of results. So we are finding there are gaps. So to fulfill that gap, we want to, or we are conducting this study in that particular domain of field. I hope it is clear.
And also, ma'am, sometimes to get a different perspective as well, like
Yeah,
same
obviously.
topic, but
Perspective, Pratibha ma'am, I agree with you. But thing is that when we talk about research, right, duplicacy we always need to avoid.
yeah,
Thing is that already, if suppose someone has found any result, and if my study is also contributing the same result, so there will be nothing or no uniqueness there, right? In that case,
not
acceptance of
same result. I'm just talking like when we see a different, like for the ethnographic research, you can say, or like non-quantitative research. Many a times it depends on a perspective, right? So
Yeah.
that
Means-
is also something.
Yeah, means say
We-
for example, we are writing a paper on literature review. So literature review paper is what? It is nothing but it is the summary of the previous studies, in where we are including the perspective of so many people, or the people those who have contributed in that particular field.
Yeah.
And generally we are keeping in mind that those studies should not be very older. Maybe 5-6 year old
Yes.
study we are including, and we are writing their perspective so that we can give what I can say a summary kind of thing to the other readers. That way they can understand in that particular field recently what findings were found by the previous researcher. So that is also possible to do in terms
Yes.
of qualitative research. So is it fine, Arundhati ma'am? Shall I proceed?
Yeah, ma'am.
So that way we can say this is the meaning of research according to me, because I think research is a term which maybe changes from person to person, but usually we can say somewhere we always understand this thing. We are always interested to find something new in that particular field. So that is why we are conducting a research or study in that particular domain or field. So when you are writing a research paper, you need to understand this thing, that according to the discipline, as I belong to the management side, I don't know how many of you are from the management. Maybe some people can be from other disciplines also. So according to our disciplines, we are having a pro forma. According to that, we need to write a research paper. But usually pro formas are including the term like or the fields, or I can say the headings like introduction, where you need to introduce your title or research topic, right? You need to talk about the keywords, and that way you are going ahead. You want to establish certain kind of relationship there. You are trying to identify, or you are trying to build the conceptual framework for your study under this introduction part, right? Then moving ahead, we are talking about the main important component of the research paper or research study is the literature review. Literature review is, as review is already added in this particular term, so we know this thing, we are reviewing the things. That means the past work in the same domain which have been carried by the previous researchers, we are giving or we are reading them, and we are trying to jot down their findings, or what kind of research methodology they have used, what kind of methodology they have used, what were the objectives, what were the findings. These kind of things in a para form generally we are writing in our study, right? So that it will give you a clarity that what has already been done by the previous people, and now you should not try to repeat that, right? So that way literature review are the glimpses, we can say, of the past studies. After this, generally we are writing the rationale or research gap, right? So after doing a literature review, intensive literature review, after reading almost 50 50 papers, generally we will be in a position to understand that what is the exact gap in that particular field. So that way you are refining your rationale there, you are writing your research gap, which is giving you the base for raising certain questions. So you can also include research questions, right? And then you are writing the objectives of your study. It can be objective or objectives, depending how many you are defining to complete your study. So you are now means what is the purpose of conducting that study, so that you are writing in a very simple worded statements. In generally one liner you are writing these objectives, so that any reader can easily understand that what is the aim of your study. After this, you need to formulate your hypothesis. So there is a link. Research questions will give base to writing your research objectives. When you are very clear to about your research objectives, that can help you to understand the variables available in the objectives, and using those variables, what kind of relationship you want to find in those variables. In line with your research study or title of your research, you are formulating your hypothesis here. Then you need to create a blueprint of your study, which will be coming in the research methodology part. So this will be a kind of map you need to create. You need to include so many things in this particular section. You're talking about the nature of your study, whether it is descriptive, exploratory, analytical, and all. You're talking about this. You're talking about which kind of or what is the population of your study. You're talking about what will be the sample of your study or sampling unit of your study. You're talking about sampling frame, you're talking about sampling sample size, sampling reason, you're talking about which method you are using to select sample from your population. That is, you're talking about what kind of data sources you are using. That is also you are defining here. And then what kind of analytical tools, that is softwares, you are using to analyze your data, and which statistical techniques you are applying on your data. These things will be mentioned under this research methodology part. So it is defining all these things. After this, we are coming to the data collection. Already it will be there. Means after this, after defining your hypothesis, if you are very clear about your variables, that way you need to understand this thing, that how you are going to measure them. So you need to take either a already defined scale, or you can create your own questionnaire. That way you can collect your data, and after that you need to go for the data analysis and interpretation also. I can write here, right? Then I think you will go for writing the findings of your study. So findings and discussion will come or take place. Then conclusion you will write. Usually limitations nowadays, fashion is a little different. People are delimiting their research study, and this portion is included in the introduction part also, right? So depending which type of format you are using or in which journal you are submitting your work, so that way you can decide this. So limitations you need to write. Some people are also writing implication, which is very important. And then you are writing your conclusion of the study. You are concluding your whole work. And then you need to write the references. That means you need to give the credit to all the previous studies which you have done or which you people have read and included in your research work. So you need to cite their work. You need to write the references according to your domain. In management, we are following APA style. So in that style, you can write your references, and then in the appendices, you can add whatever is the extra tables and charts and figures. You can add them. So this way, generally, this is the pro forma of conducting or writing any research report, right? So for today's agenda is we need to talk about the data analysis, right? So from here, I'll now take one more thing, that is the variable term. So anyone who can help me to define this term variable? Yeah. Okay, fine. So without going in that, asking all, I am defining the term variable here. I can say variable, the term itself is indicating variable, meaning which varies, right? Or which is not constant, is variable. Or we can say it is nothing but it is a characteristic. Any object, right? So variable is any entity or any object, and characteristics of that particular object or any entity is known as variable, right? There are variety of variables available when I talk about statistics, but the broader classification, if I will say, usually we are dividing the variable into two types: qualitative variable and quantitative variable. So I think any guesses for qualitative variable? What is qualitative variable? Am I audible? Are you people listening to me? Okay, so okay, any addition to this? What is qualitative variable? Anyone? If not, you can say no also. There is no problem in that. Because I think here, being your facilitator, that is my responsibility to tell you. But if you are not knowing the answer, you can say no. Yes. Shall I proceed? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yeah,
hello.
Neha.
Yeah. Is it related to the behavior, or I'm talking about the
Hmm.
qualitative,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And like experiences, interactions, something like that.
Very correct. Very correct. But experiences, if I take experience in terms of years, that will be numeric. But
Yes.
when I'm telling person to express your experience, that will be the qualitative data.
Quantitative, yes, ma'am. So
Right.
it can be words or something like words,
Yeah, correct.
observations.
Very correct. Yes.
Right.
Right. Fine. Thank you. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah. When I talk about qualitative variable, when I need to define this term, I can say variables which cannot be expressed in terms of numbers, right, are known as qualitative variable. For example, I think someone has written in the chat box, it is gender, which I have just seen. It is gender, someone has written. One can be the gender, other can be suppose marital status, your PAN card number can be the qualitative variable, right? Then qualification, perception, behavior, loyalty. All these terms can be all these variables can be the qualitative variable. I hope it is clear. Shall I proceed? Friends, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Moving ahead, talking about quantitative variable. Quantitative variable is opposite to your qualitative variable. Any variable which you can easily express in terms of numbers is known as quantitative variable. For example, the salary, income, GDP of any country, demand, export in terms of currency and all, right? All these can be the variable which are known as the quantitative variable. Height, weight, age, time, all these variables are the quantitative variable. This is the very broader classification of your variable. Apart from that, there is discrete, continuous, and categorical variable. Out of these three, first two are numeric. Discrete and continuous variables are numeric variables, whereas categorical variable is qualitative variable, right? So when I say discrete variable is a variable which can express in terms of whole number. Means positive integers. So the variable which can be expressed in terms of whole number or complete number or in terms of positive integers is can be known as discrete variable. For example, number of participants in this FDP. I think it is quite obvious that will be a complete number. Maybe it is 52, suppose, or maybe 50. So meaning is that I cannot express this variable in terms of decimal points. I cannot say in this FDP there is 50.2 participants, right? So the variable which can take a complete value is known as discrete variable, right? Opposite to this continuous variable, which is, I think where I stopped. So the continuous variable is a variable which is known as, or we can say variable which is showing continuity is a continuous variable. Or to understand in very easier manner, I can say continuous variable is a variable which can be expressed in terms of decimal points, or a variable which can accept the decimal values or the floating values is known as continuous variable, right? For example, height, right? Weight. So salary, GDP, etc. All these are your continuous variable, right? When I say weight of any person, so it is quite obvious a person weight can also be 56 kg, and other person can weight also be possible, it can be 60.3 kg. So weight is a variable which can be expressed even in the decimal points also. So I think in mathematics we know this thing. When I say 2 to 3, that means 2 to 3 meaning is that there are infinite numbers which are existing between 2 and 3. 2.1, 2.11, 2.111, 2.111, 2.12, 2.122, like that. So there are infinite numbers which are existing between these two numbers. So I can say this thing, this kind of variable is known as continuous variable. I hope it is clear. Shall I proceed? Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Moving to the next one is the categorical variable. It is qualitative, right? And expressed in terms of categories. For example, gender. I can say gender has two categories, suppose male and female, right? Marital status, again two categories, maybe more than two also, single, married, right? So that way the variables which are qualitative, but generally they are having categories or possibility of categorization is also there. We can call them as a categorical variables. So this is the second classification of the variables. Apart from that, generally in terms of research, we mostly use independent and dependent variable, right? So when I say independent variable is a variable which is independent in nature. That means its value is not depending on the value of any other variable, is independent, right? Whereas dependent variable is a variable whose value is depending on any other variable, usually on the independent variable. So dependent is depending on someone, independent is not depending on anyone, right? That is independent and dependent. For example, a very simple example I always take of the demand and price, because I think we all can easily relate to this example. So when we say demand and price, we know this thing in economics. Generally, there is a rule where we say when price increases, demand decreases. I think we in our real life also, we all have experienced this thing, right? Generally, when we know this thing, maybe suppose government has brought the budget or presented the budget, right? So maybe they are saying from this so and so month, the prices of a particular thing will be this. So if prices are increasing, so generally what we will do, we will try to store it. But if we are knowing the prices will be reduced, what we will do? We will wait for that time, right? So that way we can say this thing: when price increase, demand decrease, or when price increases, demand decreases. So that way we can say it is dependent and independent. So in this case, your price will be independent variable and demand will be dependent variable. I hope it is clear. Yeah. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Apart from this is the broader classifications I have told you. And if you will see these variables, all the variables can be merged in one category, qualitative and quantitative. So this is the broader classification of the variables, right? Apart from this, other variables are also there in the research. We can call extraneous variable, latent variable, mediator, moderator. So all these are generally, we can say, also dealt in the statistics, but generally in the higher statistics or in the advanced statistics, when we are going, in that case, we are talking about these kind of variables, right? But because today we are only understanding the SPSS environment, so I'm keeping the variable types till this particular point. Next thing I will talk about the measurement scales. So I hope, because I think many of you are already faculty members, so I don't think so anyone who has not heard this term. So anyone who can tell me, have you heard measurement scales? If yes, can you tell me what do you mean by measurement scales? Anyone? Yes. Okay. So I can say measurement scales are the tools or yardstick which is helping you to measure the variables which cannot be measured directly. So to measure the variables which you cannot measure directly, you are using or you are taking the help of measurement scales, right? There are 4 kinds of measurement scales named as nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. I think now you can relate. Yes or no? Have you people heard this? At least please say something. It's online session, unable to understand. Have
Yes.
you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So starting with the first measurement scale, which is the nominal scale. Nominal scale is the very basic level scale. usually nominal and ordinal scale comes under the categorical scale, and remaining two, interval and ratio, are the numeric scales, right? So nominal scale is a scale which is providing you the facility of the classification, or you can say identification, right? So when you want to classify your data using nominal scale, you can do this. Gender, if I say, always I'm taking this example because it is very easy for me to explain you. So I can say, suppose I'm collecting the data and I'm asking the gender of the people, the sex of the people. I can say, I can easily classify my data that these number of males are available in my data and these number of females are there, right? So when you want to classify your data or any variable which is helping you to classify, that variable will be of the nature nominal, right? And in this, only counting is possible. When you're dealing with the nominal scale data, you can only count such kind of data, and you can only calculate mode for such kind of data, right? Plus minus kind of mathematical operations only you can perform, right? In the ordinal scale data, as I have written this these four scales in an order, always these scales are coming in the same order which I have written here on this Word document, because every scale will possess the features or characteristics of its previous scale, right? So when I talk about ordinal scale can classify also. Apart from that, it will be one more characteristics, which is rank order, right? For example, I have written here height, although height is continuous variable, but if suppose I am measuring the height in terms of tall, middle, and short, in this case, this will become the categorical data, right? And looking at these three categories of the height, I can easily classify my respondents. I need to only understand up to what particular limit I'm calling them as a tall people, middle or short people, right? And that way I can classify those people, and I can arrange these three categories also in particular order, either in ascending or descending order: short, middle, tall, middle, or short, likewise. So that way we can say rank order is also there. So this kind of data is known as ordinal scale data. Third scale, interval scale. It can help you to classify rank order. Apart from that, there will be one more characteristics which is known as equal distance. So the very simple example to explain interval scale is temperature. We all understand this thing, that temperature is having two qualities, either hot or cold, right? So means when we say temperature, so I think we are feeling hot, we can say temperature is very high. We are feeling cold, we say temperature is low. So these are the two things that way we can say that there is temperature. We are making, in this way we can feel the temperature, right? Suppose there are certain cities I am having, and I want to classify them on the basis of their average temperature, right? So what I did, I have made few class intervals like this, and I want to classify those cities. So classification of the cities is possible on the basis of taking their temperature of maybe few months or something. I can get an average. So that way I can divide those cities, right? On the basis of their average temperature, I can keep them in these intervals. So that is, classification is possible. When you will look at the temperature of those city, average temperature, I think that way you can arrange them in ascending and descending order. That is also possible. Second thing is that if I talk about the class intervals which I have made to segregate or classify my cities, I think you can say here the difference between 21 and 30 is 9. Here it is also 9. Here it is also 9. So that is the equal distance in these class intervals, right? So equal distance is also there. Problem with the interval scale is that this scale is lacking with someone. And lacking is what? This scale is lacking actual 0. Actual, or maybe you can write it as actual. So absolute or actual 0 is not there when we are talking about the interval scale. Meaning is what? Whatever we are measuring actually that thing will not be actually 0, right? Say for example, if I am saying temperature is 0, 0 means 0 degree, right? So we know this thing, we are measuring temperature, we are calling it as 0, but still at 0, one of the characteristics of temperature is present, that is cold, right? I think at 0 degree we will feel cold. So we can say whatever you are measuring, that is still present, and we are calling it as 0, right? So the phenomena or the characteristics which we are measuring, that will not be actually 0 there. So that way we can say this is the problem with the interval scale, right? So to overcome this, we are having the last scale available, which is known as ratio scale, and it will be having all the previous characteristics. Along with that, it will be having the actual 0, right? For example, salary, weight, right, height, all these are known as the variable which we are measuring on the ratio scale, right? So these are the 4 different measurement scales which are helping us to measure the variables which we cannot measure directly, or we are not having any apparatus available to measure them. For example, if I want to measure a perception, say for example, I'm asking to any particular person, what is your perception towards politics? Maybe some person is expressing, some person is not expressing, but I think we know this thing. If I'm asking something about anything from a person, any person will not be having a 0 perception towards that. Everyone is having certain kind of perception. Maybe person is revealing it or not. Such kind of variables generally we are measuring on the interval scale, right? So this is about the basic understanding about the terminology, which will help you to understand the data analysis. So now I'll share my screen again, and now I will talk about SPSS interface. So till here, I hope I'm clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Yeah, fine. So I think I shared my screen again with the SPSS interface. Please confirm me it is visible. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
yeah, thank you. Okay, so where it is? Yeah. Now I need to firstly introduce with you the interface of SPSS. I don't know how many of you are comfortable with. So once I talk about SPSS, SPSS is short for, or SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences. So all the domains or all the disciplines which are coming under the social sciences, and whatever the researchers are carrying in these particular domains, the analysis can be performed using the SPSS, right? So management is one of the field which is coming under the social sciences, psychology, etc. also coming under this social sciences. So even in medical field also, we can say if we are measuring the variables like the BP, etc., and if we want to perform certain kind of statistics on those variables, so using SPSS you can do that, right? Now, talking about the interface, so one more thing, this is the product of IBM SPSS. Presently 29.0 is the latest version of SPSS. The interface which I'm showing to you, I'm having 25.0, right? We all know this thing as we are going to the latest version. So generally few more features are added in those new versions by the company, right? So talking about the interface of SPSS now, you can see it is looking very much similar to the Excel, right? As it is a grid kind of pattern, and Excel is also having the same pattern, right? Rows and column type of pattern. So we can say it is similar in look with the Excel, but it is not totally or same as the Excel, right? There are certain differences. You can, if I think everyone has worked with Excel, we know this thing. If we want to work in Excel, we generally it is showing you the one worksheet. But if we wish to add certain more new worksheets, we can do that using that plus sign or doing the right click, and we can insert a new worksheet. That way we can do that, right? But when we talk about this SPSS, there is no such facility available, right? only two windows available here, which you can see using these toggle buttons, which you can find at the bottom left side where I'm rotating my mouse. You can see this is the data view and this is the variable. These are the two buttons available. And the color of both the buttons are different because it is depending which view you people have selected. So I have selected here the data views. That means you presently are, or presently the data view is visible to you. This view is helping you to store your data, right? So whatever data you want to enter using the keyboard, or if you want to bring using the external sources like Excel, CSV files, etc. So if you are importing your data, that will be visible in this particular view, right? So this is the first view. When I click on the second view, which is the variable view, you can see the view is again, that is a grid format, but there are certain changes. In the previous view, at the column heading, you can find it is VAR kind of thing is written. But in the variable view, there is certain different things are written like name, type, width, etc. So meaning is that this is a variable view. This view is providing you the facility to define your own variables, right? So under these different parameters, you can define your variable. So when I talk about name, that means this field is asking you to give the name to your variable. This particular type field is asking you to define the type of your variable, right? So likewise, these are the various parameters. So firstly, I'll tell you how these are working, and then we will see how to import data and all, right? So when I talk about the name, so initially I will do certain mistakes here so that I can tell you there are certain limitations in defining the name of the variables, right? So through the mistakes, you can easily understand what things you should avoid while defining the name of your variable. So suppose I have written here dollar and then gender. Now I'm pressing a tab. So you can see a warning message, error message says invalid variable name, right? That means, meaning is that when you are starting the name of any variable using the dollar symbol, it is not allowed in SPSS, right? Similarly, if I am using ampersand gender, it is also not allowed. So first character or first letter or first alphabet can also not be the ampersand, right? Similarly, if I am using the hashtag and writing gender here, pressing enter, I'm getting a message like invalid variable name. So meaning is that there are certain limitations, like you cannot start the name of any variable with the special characters and numbers. Suppose I will write 1 gender, 2 gender, something. So I cannot do that. SPSS will not allow me to define the variable name like that. But if I will put at the rate at the initial of the name of the variable, and I'll press the tab, or maybe I'll do a enter, I will not get any error. So at the rate is okay. That is allowed by the SPSS. And if suppose I'm removing it, it is also. That is the one thing. If you are using or defining your variable using more than one word, like it is also not possible, right? Once I will press tab, you can see variable name contains an illegal character. So the problem is that you cannot keep the space between the two words, right? If you wish to do so, you need to use the underscore or maybe period, that is the dot sign. It is allowed, right? It is not like at both the place, at one place underscore, at one place the period you need to keep. You can keep underscore or period at both the place. It is allowed by SPSS if you want to define the name of variable using more than one word. It is clear? Yeah. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next one is you have observed one thing. Once I have pressed tab or enter key, whatever one of the things I have done, few fields have already filled by SPSS. These are the by default values. Means if you will not define, SPSS will take by its own, right? But if you wish to change your gender type, so as we know, gender is a categorical variable, and if I want to bring that categorical variable, means like male and female kind of thing, right? So in that case, what you can do, you can come here under this type, and when you will click on this numeric, you will be able to see the three dots. You can click on that, and you will be able to see these are the range of the types of variable. So variable can be numeric, comma type of variable, dot, scientific notations, date, dollars, etc. Usually, as SPSS is meant for performing the statistical analysis, generally we are keeping the type of variable as numeric. If variable is, suppose we are asking for the birth, date of birth, so in that case you can set it as date. If you are asking about the name of the people, you can set it as string, or address of the people can be defined as string, right? So these are the mostly used types of the variables. If your data is in the USA currency and all, so you can suppose salary or something you are having, and that is in the US based salary you are having, so you can define it as dollar also, right? So these are the things you need to keep in your mind. I'm keeping presently the type of gender as numeric. I'm not making any changes. Next one is the width. Width by default, width value is the 8. It is usually related with the string data, right? So I'll show you. Suppose I have written here the name. Name can never be the numeric variable. So I'll click on these three dots and I'll set its type as string, clicking on OK. Now I'll come to the data view. So you can see one more thing. Two variables I have defined, gender and name. And in the data view, you can find them. So these two are becoming the heading of your columns, right? Suppose I'm writing my own name here. My name is, suppose I'm writing Chanchla. So you can see I have entered here Chanchal, right? I'm trying to press A, but it is not accepted by SPSS. Reason is very simple. Reason is that in the variable view, I have set its width as 8, right? So that is why it is only accepting the 8 alphabets. I need to increase its size, right? Now I'll come back and now I'll press A and my complete name I have written. So now it is taking that. Getting my point? So that way, this is the meaning of width. Whereas in case of numeric variable, width is not playing any role until and unless your variable is of continuous type. For discrete variable, there is no meaning of the width. But if your variable is continuous numeric, in that case, there is a role of width. Is it clear? Shall I proceed?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Yeah. Now, decimal points, I think we know this thing. The decimals are always related with the numeric data. So that is why by default, as name is a string, it has itself made it 0, because in the string data, there is no use of the decimal points. Similarly, when I come to the gender, we know this thing. Gender, generally, if I have kept it here as a numeric, the meaning is very simple, that I am interested to code my data. So maybe I have given certain code, 1 for the male, 2 for the female. And we know this thing, gender can never be expressed in the form of, suppose I cannot say 1.2 or 2.1 or something like that. So I think it is very simple. I can make this decimal point 0 using these up and down arrow keys. So when I will click on this down, it will be becoming 0. If you will want to increase the decimal point, that way you can go for the up arrow key, right? Now, next one is the label. Looking at the limitations which we have seen while defining the name of the variable, this label is providing you the facility to describe your variable with full freedom, right? There is no particular problem here. Suppose I want to write here gender of participant related to satisfaction study. No problem. I can define that. Getting my point? So without any hurdle, whatever kind of reference you want to give for your variable, you can use this label. So label will always help you to things, what I can say, very, very updated, because if you are using same data more than 2-3 times for conducting your research study, right? because by the time it happens, once we are collecting the data, we are trying to write 2-3 papers using that, right? So if that, and always there will be certain gaps because every paper takes time, right? So in that case, because this is the human brain, right? Maybe after a few days we forgot that one we have given to what, or what is this data all about. So what we can do, we using this label, we can easily define all these things in this label option, right? Next one is the values. Values is used for the coding purpose. So whatever coding you have given, that codings you can define here. So I'll click on these 3 dots. A dialog box is appearing, which is asking me for the value. Suppose I have written here 1 and label I have given here as male. I can add it. 2 is for the female. I can add it. This is again for my own reference, right? So that way I would be in a position to understand. 1 I have given to the male, 2 I have given to the female, right? Next one is the missing values. Missing values are of two types in SPSS. First one is the system defined. Second one is the user defined. System defined missing value meaning is that when the value is not available with the SPSS system, it will call it as a system defined. You can see, check it here. I'll come to the data view, and you can, if it is quite visible to you, you can find here. Before my name, there is a gender, and I haven't defined the gender of mine here, right? You can see there is a dot period. You can see that means this data is not available with the SPSS. This is known as system defined missing value. Until and unless user is not feeding that data will become the system defined missing value for the SPSS. Is it clear? Yeah. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next one is the user defined missing value, right? I will create one more variable here, age, to explain you this. Yeah. So suppose I have kept one variable age and it is like open ended. I have not defined any intervals. Usually people are defining like 21 to 30, 31 to 40, something like that. People are generally defining, right? Suppose in my study I have kept it open, right? That means I'm asking your age. So whatever is the age of a person, 30, 20, 25, whatever, he or she is mentioning it, right? So that way I am having a individual series kind of data for the age variable. Now, if suppose, I think we all know this thing, when we are having a data for the research purpose, we can sort the data, we can get the minimum maximum value, and we can find which is the minimum age value and which is the maximum age value in the data, right? So suppose, as I said, we are collecting data once and writing paper means we are trying to extract 2-3 papers from that data, right? So suppose for one of my studies, I want to only include the data of the people who are or who are belonging to the age group 31 to 60 only, right? So in that case, remaining data, I don't want to delete. I want to keep that data also, but I don't want to include that data in the analysis. So SPSS is providing you the facility under the variable view, which is here in this missing option. Here I can come in and click on these 3 dots. You can see there is a small dialog box is appearing, which is having 3 options. First one is no missing value. By default, SPSS is including every data of your data which you people have entered in this particular SPSS, right? So it will not keep anything missing from the analysis. This is the meaning of the first option. Second one is discrete missing value. Suppose I have selected the second option. It is providing me to define 3 missing values here, as there are 3 boxes, right? So suppose after making the frequency distribution, I have found the ages, or maybe after sorting my data, I have seen what are the ages available in my data, right? So suppose I found apart from 31 to 60, there are people who are having the age 24. Maybe people are having the age 27, and then people who are having the age 67. Suppose. So if I'm defining these 3, and it is not necessary to define all the or filter all the 3 boxes. 1, if you wish, that is possible to do with. 2, if you wish, that is also okay with SPSS. If you wish to fill all the 3, it is also okay with SPSS. So meaning is that when I have defined 24, 27, and 67, SPSS will not include the data of the people, those who are having the age 24, 27, and 67. Means data will not be deleted. It will remain with the SPSS. But when you are performing the analysis on the age variable, these people data will be not included by SPSS. I hope it is clear. Yeah. Shall I proceed? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Next one is the range plus one optional discrete missing value. So range, I think we all know. We all have studied maths at least till 10th class. We know the class intervals and all. And in statistics, I think when we are working with the stats, we know the class intervals and all, right? So this is a beauty. Here I can easily define the people who is from 20 to 30. Right? And one extra discrete, suppose 67. So meaning the people, those who are coming or those who are between 20 to 30, their data will not be included by SPSS, and the person whose age is 67 or persons whose age is 67, their data will not be included in the analysis part, right? And as it is an optional discrete value, it is not mandatory for you to define. Up to you whether you want to define it or not. Only you can define lower and the upper value of the age which you do not want to include. So this way, this is the meaning of missing value. I hope it is clear. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you will click on OK, it will be recorded for the SPSS records, but I think I'm not clicking because we are not going in the analysis right now. So I have not saved it. Columns is nothing. Say, for example, I'll come to the variable view, data view. And as you can see, my complete name is not visible. So I am stretching this column, right? The stretching the column will impact the column width. You can come and see. Instead of 8, it is now 10, right? So this is nothing. It is indicating you the displacement, or this is helping you to enhance or whatever number of characters you want to see of your particular column. That way you can set its column width. Alignment, we all are aware, we all are working in Word documents, Excel, and etc. So we know there are generally 3 alignments, right, left, and center. So same are here. Generally for the numeric data, alignments will be right. For string data, alignment is left. It is same as Excel. But if you wish to change, you can click on this and you can change according to your preference, right? Next one is the important thing, which is the measurement. So we have just seen 4 measurement scales: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. But when we talk about SPSS, SPSS is only showing 3: nominal, ordinal, and scale. Interval and ratio variable is treated as a scale data, right? As it is a numeric data. Okay. So according to your variable type, suppose gender is a nominal scale variable, name will always be nominal, age will be the scale data. So that way you can define the type of your measurement scale of your data, that on what scale you have measured that particular value. So this way, this is the way of defining the variables in SPSS. I hope I'm clear on this. Shall I proceed to the next thing? Okay, I think I'm assuming okay. Fine. Now, we will see how to import data in SPSS. For importing data in SPSS, as I think I have told you, the creation of the variables, but if you are having the data available in any other source like Excel file, CSV file, any file, so in that case, that kind of data you can bring in SPSS. And if you are bringing the data from other source, if variable names are defined there, all will be taken by SPSS. You do not need to define those variable names again here in SPSS. But if you wish to make any changes, that you can do. So we will see that. So for importing the data, we'll go to the file and then I'll click on the open and then I'll select the data. So file, open, and data. Once I will click on this, it will lend me on a dialog box. Here in the looking section, I need to firstly give the location of my file, means where my file is saved in my SPSS, in my desktop or in my laptop. That location I need to set here. So suppose I am setting it as this, right? So it is showing me so many different folders available and in that particular location. So suppose I'm picking the file from here, right? But you can see I want to import here the Excel file, which this file is not visible at that particular location. Reason is what? The files of type, if you will pay attention, that is .sav, .zsav. Means all the files having these extensions, and if these files are available at that particular location, will be visible to me. I need to change this. I'm changing using this drop down, and I'm selecting the Excel. As you now you can see, as I selected this, it is showing me the file, Excel file, which is available at that location. I'll select it. I'll click on the open, and it will show me one more box, which is helping me to see the preview of my data. Apart from that, as it is a data which we are bringing from the Excel, and Excel can have multiple worksheets, right? So you can click on the drop down if your Excel file is having multiple worksheets, and from any specific worksheet you want to bring the data, that particular sheet you can select. In my case, you can see I'm having only a single sheet available, and the preview is visible to me. I am okay with it. I'm clicking on the OK. So in few seconds, the data will be fetched by the SPSS from that Excel file. You can see this is the data which was available in that Excel file. I hope it is visible, right? Friends, say yes or no. As I think I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see if you are showing me any expressions. I cannot see that. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So this was the first way of bringing the data in SPSS, right? Second way, you can see the simple, the folder icon is visible, very familiar icon. You can click on this. It will also land you on the same dialog box, which is open data. You can select the location. You can set the type of your file, and that way you can select and click on open. So that will help you to open your file. Third way is, if you directly wish to select the type of your file, you can click on the file and go to the import data. So you can see these are the various types of file supported by the SPSS. If your data will be in these kind of files, it will be supported by SPSS, and that data you can bring in this environment, right? So if suppose I want to bring the data from Excel, I can click on this. So directly this time you can see files of type will be Excel, because I have directly selected now Excel, right? So these are the three ways of bringing the data in SPSS. Till here I am clear to everyone? Importing is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. I'll show you one more feature of SPSS, right? And then I'll little bit talking about how you can perform the analysis, right? As in one day session, it is not possible to explain everything. So next thing, I'll explain you the recoding of the data. So coding, I think we all know. When I'm having the data available with me, I can code easily, giving certain numbers to that particular data, and that can help me to perform any statistical analysis on that. But if already data is coded, and for the further analysis, suppose I want to merge certain codings there. So that means if I want to again recode my data, can I do that in SPSS? Answer is yes, you can do that, right? So you can go to the transform menu. There are various menus available. I think I have not told you these menus because I think we all are working in Excel and Word, etc. So we know this thing. These are the menus available, and the related actions which we can perform will be available in these particular tabs, right? So for getting the record kind of facility, you need to go in the transform, because it is a transformation of your data. So we will go to the transform, and you can see here there are two options available: record into same variables and record into different variables. Record into same variables meaning is what? If you are performing recording on any of your variable, So whatever are the existing coding that will be replaced by the new codings, right? But if you will go with the recode into the different variables, in that case, what it will do, your existing coding or your existing variable will remain same. It will not be hampered, it will not be affected, and a new column will be added in the SPSS data view with the new codings. So that is recoding or recode into the different variables. Always, I think I'm suggesting whenever you're going or performing such kind of transformation on your data, go with the different variables. Do not touch your original data, right? So that is why I will click here on the record into the different variables. I think till here the concept of recording in the same and different variable is clear. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Before going into that, I need to show, yeah, I need to see one thing. No, this was not the data. Our data was, yeah. So here, firstly, I will define the types of T, because you can see in the data view, under the T column, there are certain values given, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the types of T. I'll come here in this data variable view of my file, and clicking on these 3 dots, I will define. Suppose one is the masala tea, right? I click on the add. 2 is suppose the plain tea. 3 is suppose the ginger tea, or maybe green. And 4 is the lemon tea or black tea, whatever you want to write. Then here, 4 types of teas I have defined: 1 masala, 2 plain, 3 green, 4 lemon. I'll click on OK. Done. Come to the data view. Here I am pressing on this. You can see there is an icon 1A. Once I click on this, it will show me whatever I have defined there. So as at the first cell it was 2, so I have given 2 to the plain tea, right? Similarly, 4 to the lemon tea. So that is, I think you can see. Now I want to merge these 4 categories into the 2, right? So we have coded, you can keep in mind, while first and second coding is for masala and plain, green and lemon is for the 3 and 4. So now I will go to the transform. I'll click on recode into the different variables. A dialog box is appearing. Here I want to code my T variable. So I will shift it from the left box to the right box using the arrow key. And at the right side, I need to give the name, because you can find here at the middle box, after the T2, you need to define the name. What is the new name of your variable? So which I am giving here, T suppose 1. I have given so I have given here T1. I'll click here on now old and new values. So as old value was 1, I want to give code it as 1. 1 and 2, there are 4 categories, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 I will merge in the first category, 3 and 4 I will merge in the second category. So 1 is, new value is also 1, I will add here. Old value was 2, new value is 1, I have added here. Old value was 3, new value is 2, I have added. Old value was 4, new value was 2, I added. So now you can see at the left side, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the older codings, and these are the newer codings. 1 and 2 is merged in the first category. 3 and 4 is merged in the second category. And I'll click on continue. And then, just a minute. I forgot to click on change. Yeah. So now I think old and new is defined. Yeah. And then I can click on OK. So I will be landed on the output viewer of the SPSS. I need to come back to my file again, and that way you can see in the variable view, new variable is added with the name T1, and in the data view you can find the coding. 2 I have coded as 1, 4 I have coded as 2, 3 I have coded as 2, 1 I have coded as 1, right? So if you want to make changes in this, I have kept the decimal value as 0, and similarly if you wish to define the name, new categories of your tea, plain and masala I have kept in the 1. These are generally the regular tea and lemon, and the which was the second next name, the green tea. These are the healthy teas, right? So that way you can give the new names. I can define here. 1 is now the regular tea or normal tea, whatever the suitable name you can find, you can define that. And this is the healthy or tea I can define. Fine. Coding, decoding is clear. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, in quick way, I will explain you the analysis, right? Although the time is very limited now, but as I think we are talking about the data analysis using the SPSS, now you people are acquainted with the interface of SPSS. You can see in this data, in this menu bar, there is a menu or the tab named as Analyze. You can click on this and you can see there is a range of statistical tests available under this, which you can perform in SPSS, right? If you want to perform descriptive statistics, say for example, I am going for the descriptive statistics and there are so many options available. I am selecting the second one, which is the descriptives, right? I am shifting my income variable from the left box to the right box using the arrow key, clicking on the options. By default, it is there are certain checkboxes which are checked: mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. Suppose I want to get the kurtosis value and skewness also. So I selected that. I can click on continue and then I'll click on OK. So in the output where I will get the output of the descriptive statistics, you can find it is showing me the descriptive statistics for the income variable, which is indicating we are having 30 observations. Minimum income value is 16,950. Maximum income value is 1,35,000. Mean income is 38,274.17. Standard deviation of the income is 24,701.845. Skewness is 2.837 and kurtosis is 8.857. So that way, descriptive statistics can be calculated and you can interpret it. Similarly, if you want to perform other statistical tools, like if I want to perform the t-test, you can see there are all 3 types of t-tests available. Apart from that, you can perform one-way ANOVA also. For the two-way ANOVA, you need to go to the general linear model. From here, you can perform this. Similarly, correlation, if you wish, you can perform these kind of various correlations from here. Performing the regression, you need to come to this regression section. According to your need, you can select the specific or appropriate regression tool from here. Similarly, log linear, neural networks, classification techniques, if you want to perform like cluster analysis, discriminant analysis and all, which you can select from here. For factor analysis, you will go here. For reliability testing, you will go here. For performing non-parametric tests, you will go here. So there are range of tests or statistical tools available, which you can perform from this particular tab, right? So according to your need, according to your hypothesis, you need to find which is the appropriate statistical tool which you can perform, that you can perform from this particular menu or the tab, right? So now I will summarize the today's session, and then if you people are having any queries, that I will take, right? So I will say that when I talk about the SPSS, SPSS is generally is the quantitative package which can help you to perform statistical analysis, because statistics can only deal with the numbers, right? But nowadays, as we are living in the era of technology, we can integrate some other what I can say, the programming languages with the SPSS like R, Python, etc. And that way, if you wish to perform qualitative analysis, that is also possible to do with the SPSS, right? SPSS in itself is a very handy because it's a mouse and click kind of software. So you need to only explore various options. You need to transfer your data, and easily you can get the output. Whereas when I talk about the softwares like R and Python, because usually I'm teaching R also and Python also. So we know this thing, these are the programming languages, right? Even if we wish to perform a statistical analysis using these particular softwares, so somewhere we need to have little bit idea about the codings, right? So people, those who are not belonging to the mathematical backgrounds, or not much comfortable with the programming languages kind of thing, generally people want to what I can say, they want to do not want to go into those kind of software. They want to get a software which is very handy and easier for them to use. SPSS is that kind of software. It is better than Excel because Excel has certain limitations. Those who are working with Excel and have performed various analysis using Excel, they know this thing. In Excel, even you are adding the add-ins and all, you can perform the limited statistical test, right? But when we talk about SPSS, SPSS is providing you advanced statistics also. You can perform advanced statistical tests using the SPSS. If you will go in the new versions of SPSS, some more features have been added by SPSS, so which can help you to get more reliable and the better results, right? But the problem with SPSS is that SPSS is a costly software, right? It is like tough to avail it. You need to pay a handsome amount to avail this particular software. But if you are associated with any organization which is already having this software, so that way maybe you can avail it, or from your friend or something, from them you can procure this kind of software, right? It is not much what I can say easily to, in terms of cost, it is little tough for us to avail it, right? But if you're talking about other things, say for example, I said R or Python, these are the free softwares. Easily you can download them and you can start working on them. But the thing is that if you're not having that kind of background, so people are generally trying to escape from such kind of software. But SPSS is a software which is very, very handy. As I have shown you, the interface, it is very, very, what I can see, people are very familiar with Excel. So you will find it is very simple to work with SPSS, right? Apart from that, I will add one more thing at the end as a conclusion of this session. Whenever we are talking about a statistical selection of any statistical test for testing RD data, always you need to see what is the hypothesis you people have formulated. What are the variables available? So you will see number of variables in that particular hypothesis. You will see the type of variable. Variable is numeric, categorical, how many numeric, how many categorical, that you need to identify. And what kind of relationship you want to find between those variables, which you have already stated in your hypothesis. If this is the clarity you are having with your hypothesis, so I think it is very easier for you to decide the statistical test. Because say for example, I want to find the mean difference in my data, right? So for example, I want to see whether the satisfaction score is differing for male respondents and female respondents. So it is clear to me, I'm having the satisfaction score and it is a numeric variable. I'm having the male and female data, that is a gender variable. So I can say I'm having one categorical variable, that is gender, and one numeric variable. I want to find the mean difference, as I want to only compare the two categories. So the appropriate statistical tool, there will be the t-test, right? So this way, if you are having such kind of understanding, you people can easily perform a statistical test or tool on your data. So I think this is all from my side for the day. If you are having any queries are most welcome. I'm waiting for your queries. Yes. Any query?
Madam?
Yeah.
Am I audible, madam?
Yeah.
Madam, did the MOS is available in SPSS? MOS testing.
SPSS MOS, IBM SPSS MOS is available, ma'am. You need to buy it. If you are buying SPSS normal version, it is I have shown you. In this, it is not available.
Yes, it is not available. Na?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what.
not available. You need to buy that version of the SPSS MOS version. You need to buy.
But the option is showing there, madam, in the tab as MOS, but it is not at all available when we are.
Add-ins you can see, add-ins will be there, ma'am. But the problem with that is that you need to avail it. It is not freely available.
It's not a free trial.
Yeah.
There.
One free trial is available for SPSS also, for MOS also. 30 days trial is available for both.
Free trial for SPSS.
For both. For MOS also, for SPSS also.
Free trial, madam.
Yeah, 30 days trial is available. But problem with that, if you will download once in your device, so your IP address will be tracked. If you are after 30 days or maybe somewhere after 2-3 months again you want to use SPSS and using the same system you want to download it, it will not be allowed by the SPSS. So the IP address will be tracked and also the email ID. So you need to change your device, you need to change your mail ID.
Oh, it is too tough then.
Yeah.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. I think Vidya ma'am is asking something in the chat. Subsidy. Subsidy is provided by the government, ma'am. I think you need to inquire this thing. There is a support team available of IBM SPSS. You can inquire from there. So they'll give you the answer for this. For I think one license, it is tough. They'll provide you any discount or something. But maybe you can negotiate or organization can negotiate. But it is little tough. Yeah. Any other query? Okay. Thank you, Pratima ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Any other query, friends?
Yes,
No more query?
Have questions?
I think Neha ma'am, over to you if there is no query.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. So, as we draw this insightful and engaging session to a close, I take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude. Our heartfelt thanks go to our distinguished speaker, Dr. Chanchala Jain, for generously sharing her time, profound knowledge, and exceptional expertise with us. We also extend sincere appreciation to all the participants for your active involvement throughout the session. A special note of thanks goes to the organizing committee, our supporting institutions, and the sponsors for their unwavering support in making this event possible. With that, we formally conclude today's session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. All the best, everyone, for your research journey. Hope to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Neha ma'am, shall I? Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Neha ma'am, shall I leave?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.